Episode 5, folks. We have gotten to the point where Ahsoka is traveling to another galaxy. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting? So this episode, I guess, was screened in theaters. I was kind of expecting a little bit more from this episode, to be honest, because it was screened in theaters in select cities. I mean, yeah, it's a great reunion between Ahsoka and Anakin Skywalker, so it's a pretty big deal, I guess, in the Star Wars world. But I kind of hope they screen maybe another episode in the season, because if this was the episode worth showing in theaters, then is it all downhill from here? Like, you'd think they show the most exciting episode, right? Overall, this is like the middle episode of the whole season, pretty much. We're technically in the second half, but now I imagine episode 6, once Sabine and Ahsoka reunite, that's when the the real climax of the story starts to kick in, right? I don't know. Maybe they'll show episode 8 or 7 or both in theaters. I don't know. That'd be cool. If it is indeed gonna be a good finale. All right, so let's go through the episode and go through scene by scene. All right, so this is okay. So we got here the previously on, Ahsoka fell into the ocean, and I don't think they completely explained it here, unless I missed it in this episode. I guess she was unconscious, and Anakin Skywalker was able to commune with her in this limbo space to perform the final training session. That was a big cliffhanger at the end last week. I do like it when they start with these nice vistas of the environment here. Some real nice wallpaper content, right? There's the half of the map that got destroyed. Hera being Hera, cool Hera here. And yeah, they're gone. They're out of here. Where are they? She's got to find them. Sad old robot dude is mourning their loss here. And I guess the kid has some Jedi force powers, right? Or sensitivities, at least, because he's the one who finds them. Feels through the Force Anakin and Ahsoka battle. So this was interesting, right? I guess this whole sequence here kind of catches people up. Those who haven't watched the animated series, like myself. It does a decent job of like catching up a little bit of like the dynamics between Ahsoka and Anakin here. I did like this saber fight here. I think it is an improvement from last time, even though I have listened to some people on their own podcasts and shows talk about how they liked last week's saber fights. I was a little bit lukewarm on them, but I think there's improvement here. So this is an interesting device here. It's kind of like the Christmas Carol, right? They go back in the past. Anakin's like a ghost, showing Ahsoka the past so she can try to learn from her past as her present. And it feels a little weird because war's going around them, and they're trying, and then they're having this kind of stilted discussion about war and like what it is to be a Jedi and why should I fight? Do I have to fight? There's like he grew up Anakin training when there was peacetime, and now Ahsoka has her legacy is war. She's upset about that, but it's like it's not really like they're there. It's like an image of that time, right? And it's her adult self being transported into her child body. So I guess it's fine that like things happen in the background. A war is happening, and the time slows for them to just have a nice conversation. But he's being kind of a little bit cryptic. He's not really fully explaining like what he means, and it's like Ahsoka has to be left to like just kind of interpret what he's saying. Yeah, it feels like a little bit underwritten, but whatever. It kind of again, it feels like this show feels like what I've come to realize is it's like the Rebels show. It's kind of like it's a kid show. It's like a teen show, but live action. So it's not going to go too deep into the philosophies of the Force here and the Jedi. It's going to be just simple stuff. You have to fight the war, light and dark. Maybe you'll get a little deeper later on, but I don't think so. And we get those flashes of him being Darth Vader, of course. But yeah, I mean those sequences were kind of okay, but I do kind of wish maybe the episode was longer. Like this episode was only like 50 minutes, and I expected it to be like at least 90 minutes because it is being screened in theaters, or it was. So I kind of was thinking, okay, they're gonna spend some time with Anakin and Ahsoka in that dream world or whatever, that limbo world, and the training session I feel like could have been expanded. Like it really felt like it wasn't really, it didn't have room to breathe that much, and it would have been helped with like a deeper conversation between them and a deeper just training session, really. But it was just basically, Anakin has a dark side. He has red glowing eyes. Hey, what's up, Valves? We're going through I should have put the spoiler tag up. I forgot not to put. We're going through episode 5, just like reminding myself what was happening and just chatting about what I think about it. Feel free to share your ideas, your opinions in the chat. But yeah, so this sequence was interesting, but like I was saying, they could have like expanded it more. It felt a little bit like too short of a time to spend with Anakin and Ahsoka, especially because this is supposed to be like a huge pivotal moment in the series, right? In Star Wars canon, Anakin never got to finish training Ahsoka, from my understanding, because I haven't watched the cartoons. I've just watched all the live action stuff. So yeah. So here we have, them just him imparting his wisdom. But I do wish he explained himself a little more. I guess it ends with with like, oh, the idea like, oh, okay, she decides to live and is not gonna slice up her master. You know, that's not Ahsoka's plan, and I guess that was the point along. He wanted to, I guess, get her to get angry and like fight back to the fullest. And he was like, okay, so maybe you do have a chance because you didn't release that anger. Because at this point, Anakin is past the Darth Vader thing, right? He still has, I guess, a dark side in him, but he knows how to control it now as a space force ghost. I guess he's ascended that. And I guess that was the lesson, like, don't let anger get to you, and she ended up not letting it control her, and she's not ultra violent, and now he's gone. This is cool. It's always fun to see like people like sink into water like this. And then we get the rescue. This is actually pretty cool too. Like you never really see in like scenes where like people get rescued. When they get out of the water, they're always gasping for air. But she's a freaking Jedi. She's like knocked out completely. There's no gasping for air here. So that's something you never really see, which is kind of interesting. Kind of cool little touch there. She just wakes up. Still confused. I guess this little guy is going to become important at some point in the future, right? This is his the moment where we're like, okay, he has some cool force powers, and he's going to grow up to be a powerful force user, maybe. Who knows? He's the one who senses them. Ahsoka and Anakin fight in this limbo world. And then we got here. So at this point, like a little bit, maybe a third of the episode is left. And again, I was expecting something bigger to happen just because this is the episode that was screened in theaters, and it just seemed like, you know, to show this episode in theaters, it would have to mean that it was a special episode. But I guess having Hayden Christensen come back is special enough. And then now she's up. We got them reunited. But it is cool to see, you know, just in general, Ahsoka and Hera hanging out here. Like two strong Star Wars women planning out what's coming up next. So maybe we didn't need too much of the Anakin stuff. Just because, you know, they're cool characters. Though I wonder if we'll be seeing much of Hera anymore, just because it seems like I imagine the next half of the season is going to be Ahsoka and Sabine and Thrawn, etc., in another galaxy. And actually, on the IMDb, it says that Mary Elizabeth Winston, who plays Hera, is only in 5 episodes. But it also says that Ray Stevenson is in 4 episodes. So I don't know how accurate that is. Because you would imagine you would see Ray Stevenson again and Shin again, all these other characters in the coming episode. So I don't think it's completely accurate. But I feel like we'll probably see Hera again, like in the last episode when they come back from the galaxy. Unless they stay over there, and and it'll be season 2 before they get out of that galaxy. Who knows? I don't know. So again, Ahsoka's being all monkish here. Like, she was even kind of monkish in the flashback, but then again, it wasn't really a flashback. It was her, like, remembering. So, yeah, because, you know, people have been criticizing Ahsoka for being a little too stoic compared to herself in the animated series. And I tend to agree with that. But I guess like the idea is that like Jedi are like monks, and they're all like stoic and aloof and just kind of pondering everything they say and think with a relaxed demeanor, you know. And here we go. She realizes, oh, it's time to do some whale riding. And the stakes go up here now that the senators are like gonna take away Hera's rank. But I think she'll be fine. And so this scene is interesting, but it's also a little bit like maybe they could have done more, because the idea here is that Ahsoka's like, okay, let's communicate with these whales because they have the power to like traverse to another galaxy, and with my half of the map that we have, and then their knowledge or whatever, we can get to where Thrawn's at. That's the setup for the scene, right? But then we don't really see them communicating that much at all, really, right? They just kind of go inside the whale, and then they're like, okay, let's go wherever it takes us. And it just feels a little odd. Like, that kind of feels a little bit irresponsible. Like, she says, it's better going somewhere than nowhere. I mean, what if the whales go to another galaxy and they'll be stuck there for several years until they decide to migrate to some other galaxy? Like, that's why they needed to show, like, maybe Ahsoka, like, with her mind force powers, like actually having a conversation or something with the whales to give some indication of like, okay, the whales are on my page, we're on the same page here. But no, they're just kind of winging it, which is kind of just, it feels a little odd. But they are pretty cool. Who doesn't like space whales? And this is a cool little sequence too of them trying to stall. Nice back and forth here. It's frozen a bit. Okay. And so they're in the belly of the beast. And everyone's just in awe of nature, and everyone's just in awe of nature here, which is cool. It's like almost like a nature documentary in Star Wars. And then the whales migrate, ignoring these measly spaceships. May the Force be with you. And I guess, the whole idea of the Force and a big theme in Star Wars is faith, right? Like, have faith in the Force. Which some like movies and some shows have veered away from. But this is definitely a Force heavy, Jedi heavy show, right? So they're gonna have faith in these whales, and I guess Ahsoka, the wise monk, we just have to go with her, We have to go along with it and suspend a disbelief a little bit of the idea of like, okay, let's just do as the whales do. It's Star Wars. Don't think about it too much. Which is fine for what the show is. Like I said, this kind of episode kind of solidified to me really what the show is. It's it's the Jedi Ahsoka show. It's the the more stoic, monkish show where I thought like maybe in the first couple episodes, especially with such a big focus on Sabine, I thought maybe this show could be more like a rock and roll Sabine show. But no, it is what the title says, it's Ahsoka. So let's have faith and and go with the whales, go with the flow. But yeah, I'm still digging it overall. It's not like top tier. It's not top tier Star Wars at the moment, but still doing a lot better than some other stuff like Mando, or for me, I'm sure a lot of people like Mando a lot more. Um, but I'm liking the side characters. You know, Ahsoka's a little bit uh lukewarm right now, but as for Sabine, Hera, like the Witch, Ray Stevenson's character, Shin, like they're all pretty cool characters. And but again, like this should have been a two-parter or something. This should have been, you know, for it to be in theaters. I was expecting like a meaty episode with like a lot going on, not just uh, a few cameo sequences with Hayden Christensen, you know.